Imagine you were in the position of 2, 3 extra pawns in the endgame. And just imagine, I say imagine you lose it. What's gonna happen? It's too much? So if you do that, you might regret all your life choices. You might even rage quit the tournament, right? You slam the table, exactly. It hurts, it's tilting. Well, I know someone who did that, and they're 1400. And they did not win an endgame with 2 extra pawns because they did not know how to play the endgame, and they didn't know how actually to navigate with pieces. Some people are wrongly confused because they think either they can like calculate everything so they don't need to study endgame, but that's not true because you cannot calculate in the position where you don't know what's the plan. You don't have the technical aspect of it, right? You don't know like what direction to take and you just start calculating everything. But truth to be told, you are not an engine, so you cannot calculate everything. And there is another problem, is that some people say or think that they do not survive until the end game, which is also a myth, right? Because everybody survives until the end game. That's where you swindle your games, right? Basically, anything which is like an end game is when you trade the queens. So if you're in the losing side, then you can swindle. If you're on the winning side, then you need to convert your win, right? So this is my chess autobiography right now. I see someone saying in chat, exactly. Yes. Basically, Endgame is like a free ticket for you to avoid any blunders and like not lose the game because you got fallen into the opening trap, right? So whenever you have studied openings, you have studied middle games, and you have studied end games, or let's say you studied specifically end games, but you did not know this or that opening, right? Or you didn't know this or that trap, or you didn't know like how to play in the middle game, then what you can do now once you studied endgames is that you can trade your queens and go to the endgame where things are easier, where you might actually understand what to do without the need of calculating. Sounds like a dream? It's actually not. It's real. Maybe a quick question to chat. How many of you are reaching this stage of the end game? How many of you actually get there to the end game? Sometimes, not often. 1400 my game is what loses me the most. Oh, Jared, you need it. Endgame is my weakness. Yeah. Hey, hit or miss. Hello, Matt. You were missed on the group class. Most of your games reach an endgame. I treat bad. That's very good. You get stuck in the middle game a lot, Lee says. Okay. Not often when you do the situation is set already. Okay, that's interesting. So how many, then the next question is, how many of you have actually read any book on the endgame? Just like, it doesn't have to be this one, right? Just any book on the endgame. How many of you have read it? How many of you have actually read it? Never read a chess book? Oh. You're 500, you have no attention span? Yeah. Okay, how many of you have watched a video on the endgame? Dora Villa 100 Endgames, you must know. That's a great book. Short form content has cooked your brain. You had only read the Bible. Wow. You were 1500, never read a book of chess. Okay. Okay. Multiple videos. You watch training videos. Okay, that's good. On simple endgames. That's good. So simple endgames is something we're gonna talk about a lot. Okay, well, guys, for today, I have prepared a game for you, which I am gonna show you right away. And that's gonna be a very like good example for you on how the end game can actually give you points. So let me open this one. Where can I find it? It should be here. Up. Okay, that's it. That's the end game that I wanted to show you. Not this one. Yeah, this one. That's like the game that I might be to some extent the most proud of, cause it's I mean, truth to be told, it was dominated in the end game. Yep. All right, let me bring it here and then here like that. Awesome. I'm gonna show it on the screen. That's like from my game. From my game. Studio mode. Chessboard. I'm reading only Modern Benoni Volga Gambit book. What's your rating? You have 2 endgame books, but you haven't started yet because you haven't finished your tactics book yet. Okay, that's interesting. Procrastination here. Mostly tactics in the middle games decided all, so no need to read any. That's not true. That's like the myth. That's like a total myth. Yeah. If you don't blunder your pieces, you will get to the end game. If you trade your queens, you'll get to the end game. Then you need to know what to do. Yeah. And then you need to know what to do. Soap. Bam bam bam. IMB. I think it's this one. This one, and then this one, and then up. Up. Or maybe I added a new capture. Chess. Up. Up. Here. So guys, this is the I probably I'm gonna honestly at this point it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put you the position here from my it was a very long and a very complicated game from an AM tournament that I played recently, and at some point we reached the end game. And when we reached the end game, that's where the things started being confusing. And in fact, somewhere here, my opponent, actually, you will not believe this. Okay, here it is. Here it is. My opponent offered me a draw. And I was like, wait a second. So this is the game, this is the position from my game that was decided in the end game. So here I'm playing with black pieces and I'm playing against a 20-40 rated opponent. So he goes with queen d3 and offers a draw. Or maybe it wasn't here that he offered a draw. So I go with b6. And now queen takes d7. So we're trading the queens, right? We're trading the queens. They're getting into the sauce of the endgame, right? King takes d7. Bishop e4. Bishop a6. Bishop d3. And that's where my opponent offers me a draw. Because he thinks in his mind that this is opposite colored bishops endgame. And I should probably remove the evil bar for you guys for now. Just for now. I don't think you need it. And so he offers a draw, right? He thinks like, okay, well, this is a done deal. This is like done, right? It's over. It's opposite colored bishops, so it is a draw. Well, the truth is it's not. It's not a draw, guys, not yet. So bishop takes c4, bishop takes c4, and now, very important, imagine you're playing this with black. What would be your thought process like? What would be in your mind right now? Let me see what you say. Yes, Endgames, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So how would you, like, you're looking at this position, what would you think? Oh my god, it's opposite colored bishops. It must be a draw. Is that what you would think? You would accept with black because they have better pawn structure. Move the king up. Okay, I see some move suggestions, but guys, I need an explanation. I see move suggestions, but I need the evaluation and I need the explanation. Why would you do this or that move? No draw. Okay, you say no draw, but this, like, I prepared you to say no draw, right? Now let's. So e4 to take away the square from white king and march our king to g3. I love that. Now the king is gonna go there, and what's gonna be, like, what is the plan here? The pawn on h4. The pawn on h4 is unprotected. Who's can attack the pawn on h4? Make a pass pawn on the queen side and move the king up. How can you make a pass pawn on the queen side when it's 3 versus 3? How can you make a pass pawn here? It's an interesting plan. Freeze white pawns on black squares, okay? Like, making a pass pawn is a general plan in any endgame. Time to move the queen, go push my... I kind of... On the left side. What's the left side? King side or queen side? Is a5 stupid? A5 is not stupid. So I would just ask you, like, okay, e4 is a must, so we have to do it. Everybody understands that. Super important. But how, like, what's gonna be the evaluation and how exactly what's gonna be your plan? And I see some suggestions in chat, and you're right, but I want a little bit more of explanation. Move the bishop to g5. And then what? Dance the king into the center. We go to the king side. Okay. The plan would be to move my king to the center. What happens once you are in the center? Be nice to fix a pawn on black square and queen side if possible. Swap the king and the bishop. Okay, you're guys on the right. You're kind of on the right side. So let's just continue for now. So my opponent played bishop a6. I went with king d6, bishop b7, a5, pawn takes. Now bishop a6. What do we do? What do we do now? Can we attack c3 before king protects it? Well, it's gonna be hard, right? Because, like, how would you attack it? Let's say you put the bishop here, and then the king protects like this way, right? You don't play chess. Is this game hard? It is easy, very easy, if you have the right coach. Move the bishop to b5, then pawn to e3, then move the king to g3. The bishop to b5. b5 is here. Okay, well, the right move is here. I just want to see the right move. Not the king to c5. Nope. What are you gonna do with the king on c5? What's your next move? What is gonna be your next move? You don't threaten anything. It's a king e5. Okay, that's good. King e5. That's what I played. My opponent went bishop b7. We push the pawn c5. Now my opponent goes bishop a8. Now what's the plan? How do we improve? And we don't know it yet. Keep in mind, we don't know that this position is either winning or not, right? We don't know that yet. So bishop, like imagine you put the bishop on b2, king d2, right? So I need the plan. This is just a move. I played bishop h6. Probably doesn't matter where you put your bishop here. Bishop b7. Now I played bishop c1, king d1. Now what you gonna do? Let me ask you this question. Can you actually do bishop b2? Can you actually do that? No, you cannot do that, guys. I mean, actually you can, but what are you gonna do with your bishop? Like, how are you gonna improve? Honestly, I think you can. It's just you need to be careful, because like it's not even like you need to be careful your bishop doesn't get trapped, but it's more that like what are you gonna gain from it, right? That's the question. So here I played bishop back to g5 because I didn't find anything interesting on b2. But what is my plan? I just want to see the plan. Like, what's your winning plan? If you were to win, and keep in mind it might not win, right? Keep in mind that it might not win. King to g3, that's correct. King to g3, that's right. That would be the plan. Like, we're not gonna be able to promote easily because like when you say the plan is to promote, it's duh. Like, obviously your plan is to promote, but like it's easier said than done. What are you gonna promote and how? Like, this e pawn is gonna be stopped by the bishop and the king, right? As I showed you. So we go with king e2, king f4. Great, we continue. Bishop c6. Now what? Now the thing is, we cannot just easily push the king to g3 because the pawn is hanging. And once again, keep in mind, my opponent thinks it's opposite colored bishop, so everybody knows this is a draw. But I question that. Like, is it really a draw? Hold on a second. Let's compare the pieces. Push king to e3. If pawns make queen. Make king to the... Make my king go home, watch Netflix. That's an interesting plan. Why can't we just sack that pawn for the one on h3? Well, it's a good question. I guess, why would you need it to sack it? e3 and then king g3. Exactly, Davey is right. It's e3 first, very important. Why would we sack something? Bishop h6, bishop b7, e3. Why would we sack something that when we don't have to? Oh god. One sec. So, where were we? Here. We moved. So e3, he played bishop g2. I go king to g3. He goes bishop f1. Now, how do you proceed? How do you actually win that pawn on h3? Don't look at the spoiler. Yeah, pawn is not hanging if you move the king. Yes. How would you like, is there a way to win the h3 pawn? Zugzwang, exactly. C4, G-foot. G-foot, watch the game. Yes, it's C4. Exactly, correct. We're fixing it. We're fixing this weakness, but we also create our weakness. But we don't care about that pawn. Because in order to win a bishop opposite colored bishop endgame, there is a golden rule. Does anybody know the rule? Like, how can you win an opposite colored bishop? Like, what's like the rule of a thumb? Something that we're gonna study in our endgame marathon. What would have happened after bishop waiting move instead of c4? Bishop waiting move instead of c4. I think they would just move the king back, no? Like, they move the king back. So c4, basically they're gonna move the king back again. We need a dark square to promote. We need the raise pawn. Does anyone know? This is like a little bit more advanced. But I can tell you. I can spill the beans. So usually, pawn in his colors, depends. So usually they say to win an opposite colored bishop endgame, you need at least 2 passed pawns. And ideally, those passed pawns have at least 2 files between them. So our first passed pawn is e3. Where is our second passed pawn? h4, exactly. So we would be more than happy to give away the c4 pawn for the h3 pawn, because this is what we're gonna make us win, these 2 pawns, right? So that would be a perfect swap. That's what see, this is something you cannot calculate. This is something you can only know had you studied the end games, because it's like a theoretical knowledge. It's a concept, it's a technique that will help you like win your games blindfold, right? Okay, so bishop g5, king d1, bishop f4, waiting move, king e2, bishop h6, king d1. Now, how do we improve? What's the plan? How are we gonna force white? You can see that white doesn't want to take my pawn, right? And I want them to, so how can we force them? You sacrificed the wrong pawn, yeah. Bishop f8, with what idea? Distract the bishop, how? King f2 to keep the king away. Well, king f2, you don't attack the h3. So king f2, I'm gonna go bishop e2. How are you winning? Or like, sorry. I take the pawn. And king g2, okay, that's nice. I love that. That's interesting. Very good. I did something else. I did another thing. For now. So I played bishop f8, king e1, and now where am I heading? Where am I trying to go? How can I force them to do something? Bishop a3, exactly. And now king d1, and I can already do that, but I did not. Not for now. I don't remember why I did not do that. There was something that I didn't like, but finally here I played king f2. Bishop takes c4, king g2. Now we are winning the second pawn. But how do we win this? King e2. What would you play? Your pawn is attacked. Now we need to be careful. So ideally, in theory, we already have everything we need for a win because we have 2 passed pawns. They cannot block 2 passed pawns at the same time, the opposite colored bishop, especially when there are 2 files like that in between, right? So they're too far away. Bishop c5, correct. Bishop c5. King f3. Now what? We're stuck. All right. How do we improve? Like, keep in mind, we don't want to give away pawns. King f2, bishop takes c4, bishop f8. Where was that? King moves to e2. Okay, that's an interesting thing. Bishop c1 gets her. King h2, g-foot is right. King h2, we can pass that way. See, that's very good. We can pass on as a shoulder technique. Bishop c4, now. Your next move. King h2, YouTube chat, you're right. Lee, also good. What's the next move? h3, let's be more precise. I want to see more technique. King g1, that's the technique. Why to put the pawn on the white square that is like cannot continue the march either, when you can just open the line for them? Yeah. King g1, bishop d5, and the final move in the game. Blocks the enemy king. Exactly, blocks the enemy king. And the final countdown. h3. That's right. And my opponent resigned. Hello, Steve. How did you like my lecture yesterday? Well played, well played. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is how I showed you a Mission Impossible. Meaning I won an opposite colored bishop endgame, which is and was a dead draw. And known to be a draw. And my opponent literally did not see any danger coming. Like the things that he told me, I need to make a reel out of it. He told me right after the game, Russian technique. Actually, oh my god, we have to make a video. We have to make a video about it. Yep, Russian technique. Russian technique. So, how would you know that? Had you never studied the endgames? You would not. That's the truth. And now I'm gonna show you another. Like, let's just look again at this. Let's just look again. This is a completely equal, drawish, opposite colored bishop endgame, right? You see that, right? You see that. How could you know that this pawn and this king would be here and this pawn would promote? It's deep. Okay. Now, let me show you an example of one of my students that did not manage to win an endgame, which was winning. You know, some of the things that you might know would be looking easy at first, but they're not. If we go to here and we type Vegas and we go past and we go here and we type a name. Her name is Emily. And she is one of my students. And she had a completely winning endgame. And that was it. But something went wrong. He said Russian technique after the game. And something went wrong. Yep. Okay. So this is Emily. Emily is playing black pieces. Right? Emily's playing black pieces. And you'd think, aha. Well, it's even more painful than that, because Emily was completely winning the whole game. She was an exchange up. And she was converting her exchange. And she had many pawns up. She was playing black pieces. It was in Vegas just last week. And here, Emily decided to give away the exchange, the rook, back, so that she would convert her advantage from the exchange to like an easy pawns, right? With extra pawns. So Emily takes this, oh god, Emily takes this e5 pawn. She just captures it, just like that. Rook takes e5. Which allows white, to skewer. But that's okay, Emily has calculated it all. Because she thinks, hey, I'm in a endgame where I have 2 extra pawns. So I should easily win. What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, yes. So, and on top of that, here Emily manages to trade her rooks, which is tremendously strong. Like really, rook b3, tremendously strong. We're trading these rooks. And we are heading into the completely winning same color bishop endgame. So, unfortunately, guys, as you know, Emily did not win this game. And it was even more painful than that. Emily is someone who is rated 1400 on chess.com and around 1000 on USCF, which is like very relatable to you guys. And I swear, after this game, she wanted to quit chess. So first of all, let's take a look at this position and think, how can we actually, like, what should be the plan here for black? Basically, every time I say endgame, I mean, but every time I say endgame technique, I mean your understanding of how you actually play. Like, believe it or not, but you don't have to calculate everything in chess when you play. You can also understand things and make decisions just by your intuition and the general feeling, because you just read the game. This is something divine, but this is something you can totally get to if you focus on the right things. Right tower passed on n6, then move the king to the center. Is the passer attacked, chess lover? Use the bishop to protect the pass pawn and king get an advantage on the other side. King needs to get active. Okay. Make white sack the bishop for the pawn. How are you gonna make that? h5 and activate the king and the queen side. h5. That's what Emily did. She did play h5. Her opponent went, but that's not like the plan, right? King f4. Now what? Push the h-pawn, bring the king, trade. Bishop d7, someone said. What's the idea behind the bishop d7? I want the idea. King and bishop support the a-pawn. The king eats this other pawns. I push the a-pawn and the other king goes it. White bishop is wrong color to stop a pawn as well at the end. a5, bishop d7, push. So there are a few things here. First of all, we all agree that king should escort the pawn. We all agree that we cannot win this endgame without the king, right? We agree that. How would you bring the king? There is a second thing, is that we can advance the pawn, right? It can really move. So first of all, what would be like your first move? So king g7 is an interesting move. King f8 is also a good move, right? We can bring the king. Let's say king g7, they go king f4, we go king f6. How do we advance further? They blocked us. How do we advance further? Yes, now that the king is here. Move the bishop. Bishop g5, g5 is here. This is not possible. h6, g5. You can do, in fact, h6, g5. Very good. h6 and g5, and you kick the king out. Okay, and then you continue advancing with your king. Very nice. That's the plan. Another option could be king f8, king f4, king e7. But then they go king g5. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not. We don't want our opponent to infiltrate so closely, right? There is even more, like, basically, divert the attention of the passed pawn. You don't like this? Yes. We need attack two sides to separate bishop and king. Kind of true, kind of true. Create a fortress and bring the king up. Like, for example, king f8, king f4. Here, we can do a fortress. How can we do a fortress? King f8 and then pawn f6. But if we were more logical g-foot, what would we do? So first of all, here the fortress is h6. You're right, guys. And we stop the king from moving. Or we can start here with f6, right? And then bring the king up, which can also be easier. But I kind of like h6, honestly. These are all good options. There is also like a concrete way of how we can improve. You can also play bishop d7, play a4 and then a3. Yes, chess lover. So what is important is that how are we gonna promote this pawn? There are two squares, only two squares, like three potentially. So bishop can attack the pawn, but then the pawn will move, so that doesn't count. So there are two squares left where white bishop, our opponent's bishop, can stop our pawn. It is a2 and a4. right? And because it's a2 and a4, that's where we should focus on. And right now, no one's attacking our a6. So indeed, we can just play bishop d7 and control the next promoting square. So let's say they attack, we move, they go back, and we already have a4. They wait, we go a3, they go bishop b3, stopping the pawn, and now how do we win? Bishop b6. Yes, bishop to b1. Who said bishop b1? Bishop b1 is a possibility, but there is also bishop e6. Yes. Easier said than done, right? This is just calculation, but you need to know what to calculate. Could Emily calculate that? Yes, of course, but she didn't know that it would work because she couldn't, like, she didn't have the understanding of the endgame. But that's okay. She doesn't have to. All she needs to do is bring her king, and then her position is winning. And she heard that for sure. Endgame is like, king is the most, like, I say it over and over again in every single video. I repeat, king is the most important and the strongest piece in the endgame, right? You gotta bring your king. But instead, Emily focuses on something else. So she pushes h5. Her opponent goes king f4, bringing the king normal. And now Emily does a very dangerous move. Very big mistake. So her instinct is that, oh my god, my opponent king is gonna come up. And instead of chilling and just focusing on bringing your king, yeah, Emily does a mistake. Also mind that h5 was played in a split of so 16 minutes and like 30 seconds. h5 was played with 30 seconds. She did do f6, you're right. She does play f6 with like 20 seconds. In 20 seconds she does f6, which is a blunder because bishop takes g6. Keep in mind, this endgame is still winning. It's still winning. But Emily doesn't keep herself composed. She rushes again. Peter, I do read the YouTube chat. This is the marathon on YouTube. Yes, don't worry. Suggest your ideas. Bishop f7 or bishop g4. Bishop g4 doesn't work because of f3 and we lose the pawn. So bishop f7 is correct. After bishop f7, the position would still be winning. Let's say bishop attacks, pawn moves, king here, but we go king g7 and we protect. And this is still winning. But here, Emily rushes and she plays king g7. She finally remembers about her king and she gets the bishop h5. Now, the endgame is no longer winning, but it's drawish. So everything is still fine. Finally, Emily remembers that there is a pawn, so she pushes the pawn, a5, bishop d1, stopping the pawn. Now, Emily really doesn't know what to do. What would be the drawish or like the right plan here? I mean, technically, if your opponent makes mistakes, you can still win this, but you need to do bishop d7, exactly. Controlling the square so that you know you can push it, right? Instead, Emily goes king g6, which is like a move that doesn't give you anything. Bishop a4. Very good. Now white controls and stops bishop d7. So black has no way to push the pawn anymore. King h5. King g3. Now f5. f5 is a mistake in my opinion because it makes you put the pawn on the light square, right? It makes you put the pawn on the light square, which can be fixed and therefore later can become a weakness because your bishop is on light squares. Bishop e8 check, king h6, king f4. Careful. King g7. Basically, we can see that black has no plan because it's been a while we could just play bishop b3 and then the pawn promotes. But Emily also doesn't know this technique where you can, with your bishop, help your pawn promote. With same color bishops, you can promote your pawns. So king g7 happened. So far, a lot of moves by black have been done by the king on standing on the exact same place and not improving, right? Just waiting the time. Yes. King g5. Now careful, black king advances. And why did king g5 happen? Because the pawn was on f6 and now it's on f5. Bishop f7. Emily offers the bishop trade, thinking that her opponent is stupid and would take. But her opponent is not stupid. It goes back bishop a4, bishop e6, now f3. Bishop c8, Emily is waiting. h5. Careful! And here, Emily panics. She thinks that she can trade this pawn for this pawn, and she makes a mistake. Try to find the mistake. After bishop e3, can't they sack the bishop for the pawn and make the f pawn? Potentially, but you cannot. I wouldn't say it's a good thing after bishop e3, or like whatever, sack the pawn, right? Because this is still a passed pawn, and like this too, they can be stopped by the king here, but that one is not gonna be stopped by the king, so you cannot sacrifice. f4. f4 with the idea king takes f4, and you go f4, king takes f4. Is bishop b7 a blunder? King h6. Except for it doesn't work. F4, king takes a4, king h6, except for it doesn't work. Why does it not work? Because bishop e8 and up. Exactly. That's the reaction. So f4 did happen in the game. King f4, king h6, and surprisingly, which is like, oh my god, mind-blowing, bishop e8 did not happen. This is like after bishop b8, it's still somewhat drawish, but why, like, black just gave away 3 pawns, like literally 3 pawns in the last like 10 moves. But it didn't happen. It did not happen. Why did not see that? And they play king e5, which is another mistake, giving away the pawn. So Emily takes the pawn, and now f4. And oh my god, how on earth can you lose this with black? King g6, walking right into the check, which didn't happen. Yes, but check doesn't, actually it's fine. King f7. So far everything is good. Emily's blocking the pawn. She's not gonna lose this. Bishop b3 check. King f8. King e4. Actually, Emily did not lose it. They agreed on a draw. I g-baited you. Yes, plot twist, but this is sad, guys, honestly. Especially that here there was bishop e8. But I can tell you, after bishop e8, I think Emily would lose it. I think so. Yeah. Truth to be told, this endgame was completely winning. And the only reason why black threw it was because they didn't know what to do. They were completely lost. So here is what I want you to understand. Knowing endgame is your like insurance policy against blunders. It's also your opportunity to win in the area where your opponent doesn't know what to do, right? On top of that, it is a possibility for you to save a completely lost position, because once again, your opponent doesn't have any knowledge or understanding or technique. Endgame is all about the technique and the understanding. Knowing how to play is very important. It's not just about calculating, all right? It's also about understanding. And this is what I'm going to teach you in my marathon. It's only 3-day marathon, unlike the previous Speedrun 1000 or Anti-Blunder 21-day challenge. Speedrun was 7 days, Anti-Blunder was 3 weeks, 21-day. This time, it's going to be fast and efficient. It's only going to be 3 days, and you will have the access to the material for the entire month after. Plus, until this Friday, we have early bird sale. Early bird sale means the price is cheaper until this Friday if you want to join now. It's on school.com/chessschool. You go into the marathons. It's a free community. You can already go there. You can already check it out. And then you can buy the course. Speaking of, I'm going to show you, I guess, what it's going to be about. Did I tell you everything? Basically, the less there are pieces on the board, the easier it should be for you to operate, because you should know where you're heading. When does the marathon start? It starts next Friday. Next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. June 20 to June 22nd. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Your weekend. It's going to be your chess weekend. The conclusion. Had Emily known that the king was supposed to be in the center, she would just bring it without, no questions asked, and she would just win this endgame. And she would not move her pawns, because you should not move your pawns in the endgame unless you have a concrete reason. Because remember, pawns do not go back. Concepts like strong king, opposition, pawn break. Does those speak to you? No, that's what we're gonna focus on. All right, so coming next, let me show you how it actually looks, the marathon. I am gonna show you. If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna be answering them specifically in detail after I show you what's the marathon about. So stay tuned. It's almost there. Whoa. Stay tuned. It's almost there. Up. And where's the? Oh, here. Okay. So we go here. Nope. Like that. Oh, that's better. And we go here. And we go to the school. Awesome. Okay. Ooh. That's an interesting way of having it. Okay. So this is school. This is where I teach chess. People ask me, what's school? This is my Russian chess school. So this is a paid community. This is where you learn, study, and improve. We have lots of features here. Right now, I also have another community, which is called Chess Marathons. This is a free community, right? By the way, spoiler alert, we do have a lesson with Emily in 30 minutes as well. So you're going to be bumped with educational material today. So in this free community, there are 3.5K members here. You can join absolutely for free. You go to the classroom, and in this classroom, you have different options. So we used to have, those of you who know, we had a speedrun 1000 marathon, how to get to 1000 in only 7 days. We also had anti-blunder challenge with free pricing plans. That was a 21-day anti-blunder marathon. And now we're kicking off with the Endgame marathon. So Endgame marathon, unlike the previous marathons, is slightly different. We changed a little bit the package. So we don't have any different pricing plans anymore. We do not. And we do have a 2 levels. we have 2 levels. One is under 1000, which I think, for example, Emily, even though she's 1400 on chess.com, even though Emily is above 1000 on USCF, or at least was above 1000 on USCF before the Vegas Open, I do think for someone like Emily, you might want to have this under 1000 because it covers the basics. But if you're confident, really confident in your skills, you can also try the upper one. Although I warn you, it's going to be complicated for you. Yes. So, what is going to be inside? I would say if you're joining the basics under 1000, which for me, it's like, as I said, you are going to learn how to beat all your opponents, like literally in the end games. And you're not going to be hoping just for them to get blunders. No, you're going to literally be outplaying them. For those of you who are in the end game 1000 to 1500, you're going to be learning how to beat, you will learn how to beat those who know how to think, right? So that's like a step up, the thinkers. And yeah, I guess that's it. Do you guys have any questions? I wonder if I should show you a sneak peek or not. So we're gonna have a live session kicking off the marathon on Friday. We're gonna have a live session where I will welcome you and I will also answer all your questions. Okay, guys. When will it start? Not this Friday, next Friday. This Friday we end the early bird sale and it starts next Friday. Next Friday. June 20th to June 22nd. How much time per day should we plan to spend? I would say about depends on you. You can do 1 hour, you can do 2 hours. The good thing is that you will have the access to the material for an entire month. So if you didn't have enough time to, like, during the weekend, you can catch up. Hello, Annie, by the way. Yes. I guess I could show you a sneak peek. Let me see if I don't want to spoil too much, but let me see if I can. Yeah. Opposition. Yeah, you're gonna have. I guess I'll quickly show you the sneak peek. So here, right? When you click on this, you're gonna have the material like that. Day 1, day 2, and day 3. And day 1, you're gonna have topics. Day 2, you're gonna have topics. And day 3, you're gonna have topics. You're also gonna have videos. So it's gonna be an article like this. They're gonna be exercises. I'm not showing you the solutions. And they're gonna be videos. And you're gonna have like plenty of topics like that. Pass pawns, pawn promotions, endgame tips, rule of the square, breakthroughs, and bunch of material. Also, when you click here, you also have a lot of stuff here. So yeah, guys, I guess that was a quick sneak peek. Let me know if you have any questions. Now it's time for questions. Yes, the questions regarding the marathon. Do you have any questions regarding the marathon? Now it's time for questions, not earlier, but now. You spoiled. How much time is it? It's calculated? How much time does it take? Yes. Videos, exercises, or like material to study and read, exercises to check yourself, quizzes, tests, everything like that. Everything of that nature. Hello, hello. Any more questions, guys? Fantastic. The point of the middle game is to reduce the number of pieces for the end game. Is the way you give an advantage. The point of the middle game, Lee, it's like middle game is a separate thing, right? In the middle game, you usually maneuver your pieces and do stuff like that. You improve, like you get, like you control the weak squares, you improve your pieces, you sometimes try to attack, sometimes get yourself, sometimes you get yourself ready for the end game. But I wouldn't say that the point of the middle game is to get to the end game. No, the point of the middle game is to do the middle game things, which we study in the middle game, right? Do you have over 1500 section? Mr. Peter, as I showed you on the example of my friend Emily, who is a 1400, and she didn't know some of the basic concepts, I do believe that you should not want over 1500. I honestly think so. I think you should humble yourself a little bit, and like the 1000, between 1000 and 1500 is going to be more than enough for you. Honestly, more than enough. So right now we have an early bird sale, and the price is $29 for the marathon. Starting from Friday, the price is going to go up to $39. And the last week it's going to be $39. So if you want to join already today, this is your big deal. This is your big deal. It's a great value of what you're getting. Plus, you have a Discord support. You have a Discord support 24/7 where you can ask all the questions and you get replies. Yes. What else? What else? Openings teach you openings, endgames teach you chess. In my 3-day marathon, you'll finally feel comfortable with the basics. No more confusion in king and pawn endings. Yes. How can you join the marathon? So you go to this link. It's called school.com/chess school. That's how you go to this. Thank you, Nightbot, for putting this. This is where you go. How many hours do you feel it takes to complete the course? So I think maybe it depends on what's your level. Honestly, it might take you 3 hours. It might take you 6 hours. It might take you 9 hours. It might take you 12 hours. It might take you 16 hours. It all will depend about what you know already and what you don't know. But I say it's very important basic if you really wanna if you really wanna get your shit together. Get your in order. Oh, thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. I'm happy to hear that. Yes. Oh, no, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. 69 hours, 120 hours. Yeah. Yes, G-Food, that's totally fine because you will have the access for the entire month after. Is it for beginners? It's for everyone. It's for everyone. It depends on what's your current rating. I would say this is more like FIDE oriented, right? Because like I showed you the example of my student right here, who was a 1400, right? Your UCF 1790. You could try the 15 session, but you know most of that stuff. Yeah, I think it's important. The thing is about end games is like it's always important to review the basics. There is never like a time where you know it all. Like let's say, do you know Philidor? Do you know do you can you like how well do you know pawn end games? How well do you know longa position? How well do you know triangulation? All those all those things. But honestly, Mr. like Pete, if you are not satisfied, if you find like all the material that you already like knew, you think that it wasn't useful for you, you can get your money back. I don't see a problem. But in that being said, it's you also pay for the fact that we all do it together in a time bound manner, right? So we sit and we do it, we commit. So you're also paying for the participation in the commitment. It's a very like marathons, we design marathons as a motivation for you guys, because everybody has a free material. Like everybody can learn chess everywhere. Like you just go to YouTube, you just go to Google, you just go to ChatGPT. You can learn, you can go to books. There's countless like available materials for free already. But if everybody had the ability to study, to self-study, everybody would be a grandmaster already or world champions, you see. So right now, what like this type of training is for those of you who sometimes struggle to commit and who need an extra motivation, who need an extra reason. And we're creating the reason because we're doing it all together. And we want to keep each other accountable. ChatGPT is not able to play chess. Well, yet, right? Yet not able, but soon, hopefully.